Ada stared at the email, her hands trembling so violently she nearly dropped her phone. The words blurred through her tears, but she'd already memorized every cruel syllable. We are pleased to announce Min-ji Kim as our new senior strategist. Her body still ached from 3 nights ago. She could still feel his hands gripping her hips, his breath hot against her neck, his voice rough with desire as he'd promised. After tonight,
the position is yours.
The position is yours. She'd believed him. God help her. She'd believed every word that came from his lying mouth. How does a woman who survived Lagos streets, an abusive marriage, and 3 brutal Seoul winters end up broken in a Gangnam studio apartment, used and discarded like yesterday's trash? Let me take you back to where this nightmare began. Welcome to Afro-Korean Stories by V. If this story already has you locked in and you're still here, thank you for staying with me. Go ahead, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. Drop a comment right now. Tell me where you're watching from. Canada, Asia, Lagos, London, anywhere in the world. Share your first thought on this story so far. We love you, alright? Let's dive back in. Ada Okon wasn't built for breaking. At 32, she carried the kind of strength that comes from watching your mother sell oranges in Lagos traffic to feed 5 children. The kind that hardens when your husband brings his mistress to your matrimonial bed and laughs when you cry. She'd clawed her way out of that hell 3 years ago, landing a marketing coordinator position at Neo Wave Global Advertising Agency, with nothing but a battered suitcase and a university degree she'd earned by candlelight during power outages. Seoul had frozen her bones that first winter, but Ada learned to thaw. She learned that kimchi burned like pepper soup if you ate enough. She learned that bowing didn't mean weakness. And she learned that her dark skin and thick accent could be assets in a company desperate to crack the African market. The Gangnam office gleamed with glass and ambition. 20 floors up, you could see the whole city pretending to be perfect. Ada loved it there, loved the challenge, loved proving every single person wrong who thought that African girl wouldn't last a month. Our research shows African consumers want authenticity, not watered-down Western concepts with K-pop seasoning. Ada announced to the conference room, her presentation lighting up the screen behind her. She'd worked 70 hours that week perfecting every slide. We blend Afrobeat's rhythm with Korean aesthetics. We show Lagos and Seoul as sister cities, not opposites. We make them feel seen. The applause started small, then grew. Even Mr. Choi, who never smiled, nodded approvingly. But Ada felt the weight of different eyes. Ji-Hoon Park stood at the back of the room, arms crossed, expression unreadable. The vice president rarely attended junior presentations. She'd noticed him watching her before during team meetings, strategy sessions, company dinners. His gaze always lingered a beat too long. After the meeting, he cornered her by the coffee station. Impressive work, Ada. His English was perfect, practiced. You have something special. Raw talent. Thank you, Mr. Park. She kept her voice professional, though her instincts screamed warnings she couldn't name yet. Ji-Hoon, please. He smiled, and it didn't reach his eyes. Yes, I think you have real potential here. But you should know, in this company, talent alone isn't enough for the big promotions. Takes extra commitment, understanding. Do you understand what I mean? Ada understood men like him. She'd met them in Lagos wearing different faces, speaking different languages. But she needed this job, needed the visa stability, needed to send money home to her mother who still sold oranges because Ada's father had died believing education was a waste for daughters. I'm committed to excellence, Mr. Park. Ji-Hoon. She met his eyes directly, Nigerian boldness clashing with Korean hierarchy. My work speaks for itself. His smile widened. We'll see. 3 weeks later, the announcement came. Senior Strategist position opening. Lead the entire African market division. Salary that would let Ada finally move out of her shoebox studio. Visa sponsorship that meant security, permanence, proof that she'd made it. Ada wanted it so badly her teeth ached. The office buzzed with competition. Minji Kim, 28 and Seoul University perfect, started staying late, laughing too loud at Ji-Hoon's jokes during team dinners. She wore designer hanbok-inspired blouses and spoke 3 languages flawlessly. Everything about her screamed, future of Korean business. Everything about Ada screamed, temporary foreign worker. You worried about Minji? Sarah, another expat, asked over lunch one day. They sat in the break room while Ada ate jollof rice from her Tupperware. The smell made their Korean colleagues wrinkle their noses and whisper, "Should I be?" Ada kept her voice light, but her stomach twisted. I heard Ji-Hoon taking her to meet the CEO last week. Private introduction. Sarah lowered her voice. You know how it works here. Image matters. Family connections matter. Being, Korean. Ada finished bitterly. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. That night, Ada worked until 2 a.m. perfecting her promotion portfolio. Every campaign she'd touched had exceeded targets. The Nigerian market expansion she'd spearheaded brought in 40% more revenue than projected. Her presentation deck could sell ice to Antarctica. But would it be enough? Ji-Hoon started requesting private meetings. Strategy sessions. He called them, scheduled after everyone left. Ada told herself she was being paranoid when he sat too close, when his hand brushed hers reaching for documents, when compliments about her work shifted to observations about her appearance. You dress well, Ada. Professional but distinctive. I like distinctive. I appreciate that. She moved her chair back slightly. About the Q3 projections, I think we should. Why did you come to Seoul? The question cut through her deflection. Beautiful woman like you? I'm sure you had options in Nigeria. Or Europe. Why here? The truth was too raw to share. Because my husband destroyed my credit. Because Lagos reminded me of every moment I was small and powerless. Because I needed to disappear and rebuild somewhere no one knew the broken version of me. Opportunity, she said simply. Neo Wave gave me a chance when others saw just another African resume. And are you grateful? For that chance. Something in his tone made her skin prickle. I've earned everything I have here. Of course. He leaned back, studying her. But earning and receiving are different things. The board, they're traditional, conservative. They worry about foreign hires in leadership positions. Visa complications. Cultural fit. Ada's chest tightened. My performance reviews have been excellent. Performance reviews aren't the only factor. He paused. Let the words sink in like poison. Sometimes it's about trust. Loyalty. Showing you're truly committed to Neo Wave's success. To my success. The implication hung between them, ugly and unmistakable. What exactly are you suggesting? Ada's voice came out harder than she intended. Ji-Hoon smiled. Nothing inappropriate. Just that good things come to those who understand how business really works. Think about it. She thought about it constantly. Thought about it during presentations when he'd praise her work, then immediately turned to consult Minji. Thought about it when she overheard senior managers questioning whether the African hire could handle Korean corporate culture at the leadership level. Thought about it when her landlord mentioned raising rent and she calculated exactly how many months she could survive on her current salary if things went wrong. The pressure built like water behind a dam. Then came the company dinner. Mandatory attendance, endless soju, grilled meat that Ada had learned to love despite her initial skepticism. Ji-Hoon positioned himself beside her, filling her glass personally. You're not drinking, he observed. I'm pacing myself. Tonight isn't a night for pacing. His knee pressed against hers under the table. Relax, Ada. Let me see the woman behind the professional mask. The soju burned down her throat. She felt his eyes on her like hands. You know, he said quietly, voice nearly lost in the restaurant noise. I'm making my recommendation for Senior Strategist next week. The decision is essentially mine. CEO trusts my judgment completely. Ada's heart hammered. I hope my work has demonstrated. Your work is excellent. But so is Minji's. So is Lee's. I need something more. Something that shows me you're mine. He caught himself. Neo waves completely. I don't know what else I can show you. His hand found hers under the table. Don't you? Ada pulled away, but not quickly enough. The other team members were drunk, singing karaoke in the private room's corner. No one noticed. She excused herself to the bathroom and stared at her reflection in the mirror. Her mother's voice echoed from childhood. Ada, this world will test you. Some tests you pass by walking away. Some you fail by staying. But walking away meant losing everything she'd built. Staying meant compromising everything she was. The text came 2 days later. We need to discuss your future. Private meeting. Thursday, 8 p.m. Hotel Shilla. Room 1847. Come alone. This is how business happens at the highest level. Trust me. Ada read it 15 times. Showed it to no one. She knew exactly what he was asking. Knew the door she'd be walking through wouldn't lead to any conference room. She called her sister that night. Lagos was 8 hours behind. Afternoon sun instead of Seoul's midnight rain. Sister me, how far? Grace's voice carried warmth across the distance. I'm fine. Just missing home. Ada's voice cracked. Ada, what'n happen? Talk to me. There's this man. My boss. He's been pressuring me for the promotion I told you about. He wants... She couldn't finish. Silence stretched. Then Grace said quietly, Is it the only way? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. Then you know what you have to do. Which is whatever keeps you alive and strong. Our mother didn't raise weak daughters. If you do this thing, you do it with eyes open. You control it. You take what you need and you survive. That's what we do. But could she really walk into that hotel room and trade her body for a job title? The next 3 days crawled past. Ada perfected her promotion presentation, as if PowerPoint slides could somehow cancel out what was really being asked of her. She researched Ji-Hoon obsessively, his career trajectory, his divorce status, the rumors about previous mentorship relationships with female employees who'd either advanced quickly or left suddenly. She made a decision she couldn't take back. Thursday evening, Ada dressed carefully. Not seductive, but not innocent either. Black dress, professional but form-fitting. She took 3 taxis to make sure no one could trace her route. Hotel Shilla's lobby gleamed with luxury that made her studio apartment seem even smaller in her mind. The elevator ride to the 18th floor lasted forever and not nearly long enough. Room 1847. She knocked before she could change her mind. Ji-Hoon opened the door in an expensive shirt, sleeves rolled up, tie loosened. The room behind him was all floor-to-ceiling windows and Seoul glittering like broken glass. You came. He sounded genuinely surprised. You said this is how business happens. Ada stepped inside, heart thundering. So let's do business. He closed the door. The lock clicked with terrible finality. Drink first. He gestured to champagne chilling in a bucket. No. Ada turned to face him. Let's not pretend this is anything other than what it is. You want me to sleep with you. In exchange, you'll give me the promotion. Say it clearly so we both know the terms. Ji-Hoon's expression shifted. Surprise, then admiration. then hunger. You're more direct than I expected. I'm Nigerian. We don't waste time on games. Her voice stayed steady even as her hands shook. So say it. The promotion is mine after tonight. He moved closer, close enough that she could smell his cologne. The senior strategist position will be yours. Announcement next week. I promise. Swear it. I swear. His fingers traced her jawline. After tonight, you're untouchable. My protege. Don't. Ada caught his wrist. Don't make this romantic. This is a transaction. Is it? He pulled her against him, and she felt how much he wanted her. Or is this you finally admitting you want this too? I've seen how you look at me. You've seen me being professional. I've seen you being afraid to want what you want. His mouth found her neck. Let go, Ada. Take what's yours. And God forgive her, she did. The sex was rough, almost violent. He pushed her against the window, Seoul watching their silhouettes. Ada met his intensity with her own, refusing to be passive, refusing to be just a body he used. She bit his shoulder when he gripped her too hard. She scratched his back when he buried himself too deep. She made him say her name like a prayer. If she was doing this, she'd control how it happened. You're incredible, he gasped afterward. Both of them tangled in expensive sheets. Better than I imagined. Ada stared at the ceiling, her body aching, her mind carefully blank. The promotion. Next week. I promised, didn't I? He kissed her shoulder. You're mine now, in every way. She left at 3 a.m., taking another series of random taxis home. In her shower, washing him off her skin, Ada told herself she'd won. She'd played the game by the ugly rules and come out ahead. The promotion was hers. Everything else was just the price of survival. Friday, Ji-Hoon texted her. Last night was perfect. You're perfect. Can't wait to make the announcement official. Saturday, he sent flowers to her apartment with a card. To my brilliant strategist. Get ready to shine. Sunday, Ada let herself believe it. Let herself plan how she'd spend the raise. How she'd call her mother and finally say, Mama, we made it. Monday morning, she dressed in her best suit, victory armor. She arrived early, before the office filled with gossip and coffee-seeking zombies. Her email pinged with a company-wide meeting notice. 10 a.m. Important announcement. This was it. At 9:45, Ada walked into the conference room with her head high. Ji-Hoon was already there, talking quietly with the CEO. He glanced at her, expression unreadable, then looked away. A flutter of unease moved through her stomach, but she pushed it down. Minji arrived wearing a pink dress that probably cost more than Ada's monthly rent. She looked nervous, excited. Ada felt a stab of pity. Poor thing didn't know she'd already lost. The CEO cleared his throat. Thank you all for gathering. I'm pleased to announce a major promotion within our team. Ada's palms sweated. She forced herself to breathe normally. After careful consideration and evaluation of our exceptional talent, we've selected someone who embodies Neo-Wave's future. Someone with the perfect blend of innovation, cultural understanding, and leadership potential. Yes, this was it. Please join me in congratulating our new senior strategist for African market development, Min-ji Kim. The room erupted in applause. Someone popped a bottle of something. Min-ji covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face, bowing repeatedly. Ada couldn't breathe, couldn't move, couldn't process what she'd just heard. The meeting dissolved into congratulations. People clustered around Min-ji. Ada sat frozen in her chair, the world tilting sideways. She found Ji-Hoon in his office an hour later. Walked in without knocking, slamming the door behind her. What the fuck was that? Her voice came out raw, broken. He didn't even pretend not to understand. Ada, please, let's be professional about this. Professional? You promised me. After I gave you everything, She couldn't finish. Rage and humiliation choked her. I said I'd recommend you. I did. The CEO made the final call. Ji-Hoon's voice was casual, bored even. Minji's more appropriate for the role. Better fit with our corporate image. You understand. I understand that you're a lying bastard who used me. I didn't use you. He actually smiled, like they were discussing weather. We both enjoyed ourselves. Don't make this complicated. These things happen in business. You're talented, Ada. Other opportunities will come. You said I was yours. That I'd be untouchable. Don't be dramatic. It was one night. A pleasant night, certainly. But let's not pretend it was more than mutual enjoyment. He turned back to his computer, dismissing her. I'd suggest you focus on your current responsibilities rather than dwelling on disappointment. Minji will need support from the team. Ada stared at him. This man who'd held her like she mattered. Who'd promised her everything while taking everything. You're going to regret this, she whispered. Am I? Ji-Hoon didn't even look up. I don't think so. And Ada? I'd be very careful about spreading any stories. Unfounded accusations of impropriety could damage your career irreparably. Your visa status. Everything. Think about that before you do anything foolish. The threat hung in the air like smoke. Ada walked out before she did something she'd actually regret. That night, alone in her apartment, she stared at Minji's promotion announcement on the company website. The girl looked radiant, innocent, everything Ada would never be again. Her phone buzzed. Message from Ji-Hoon. I hope we can move past this awkwardness. You're still valuable to the team. Ada threw her phone across the room. It hit the wall and cracked but kept working, the message still glowing mockingly on the screen. She'd survived her husband's betrayal, survived poverty and immigration and isolation. But this was different. This was choosing to believe the world could be fair if she just played along. This was giving up the last piece of herself that hadn't been stolen or bartered away. This was learning that some doors don't open no matter how much you sacrifice. Ada pulled out her laptop with shaking hands, opened a new folder, started documenting everything, every text, every email, every private meeting. Ji-Hoon had been careless, confident in his power. He'd left a trail. Men like him always did. She'd survived Lagos, survived Seoul. She'd survived this too. But surviving wasn't enough anymore. She wanted more than survival. She wanted revenge. Ada opened a new email to NeoWave's international HR department, then paused, deleted it. No. HR would protect him, protect the company. She needed something bigger, something public. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. Outside her window, Seoul glittered with the same indifferent beauty it always had. Somewhere in that city, Ji-Hoon was probably sleeping soundly, already forgetting her. Somewhere, Minji was celebrating a promotion she'd earned honestly, not knowing it was built on another woman's humiliation. And somewhere, Ada Okon was transforming her pain into something sharp enough to cut. She began typing. Not an email this time. A statement. A story. The truth in all its ugly, undeniable detail. Because she'd learned something in that hotel room, in that moment when she chose to walk through that door. She'd learned that she was capable of anything. Absolutely anything. If she could survive being used, she could survive being the one doing the using. The game wasn't over. It was just beginning. So what do you think? Should Ada expose everything and risk destroying her career? Or does she have something even more ruthless planned? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you'd do in her position. And listen, if you're hooked on this story like I think you are, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because part 2 is coming, and trust me, you do not want to miss Ada's revenge. It's going to be absolutely savage. Like this video if you're as angry as I am about what Ji-Hoon did. And let's get Ada the justice she deserves.